You want this one?
No.
This is Game 8 press conference featuring the Florida State Seminoles, joined by student athletes Kaylee Munch and Danny Morgan. Questions for our student athletes, please. Danny, obviously, probably one of the highlights of your career, the gigantic home run. Take me through that at bat and kind of all the feels for that moment.
Yeah, I made sure I took my deep breath, tried not to let the moment get bigger than what it was, and just go in there with the pass the bat mentality and try to get my swing off for the team.
Kaylee, what was it like, in the dugout following that home run for you guys?
It was definitely a crazy environment. We were all screaming, jumping around, hugging each other. It was really tough to not go out to home plate, but we were all waiting at the front of the dugout right for Danny when she came in. So,
Ronald Smith?
Yeah, this is Ronald E. Smith. I just want to talk about after the home run in the next inning, they scored to tie the game. So what was, for both of you, what was the momentum and the atmosphere for you guys in the dugout going into the next inning? Was it high, low? How did you keep yourselves focused through it?
Start with Kaylee, please.
I knew that I was coming up in the bottom of the seventh inning, so I was just trying to get something started for my team. We were pretty pumped to have the bottom of the seventh to try and score that walk-off run, so I was just trying to pass the bat for my team.
Danny?
Yeah, like Mudge said, just it was a pretty fun atmosphere. Everyone was pumped, but definitely going into the top of the seventh, just reminding ourselves that Arizona's a good team and that we need to come out and do what we know how to do and just stay focused and stay one pitch at a time.
Barry Trammell?
Yeah, for both of you players, this is 2 games now you've got in the new stadium with the upper deck. What's the atmosphere like with more of a huge stadium feel? Is it change anything about the atmosphere of the game for the players?
Let's start with Danny, please.
Playing with fans is great, especially when so much of the year we didn't really get to have a huge atmosphere due to COVID. So just coming here and getting to play in front of a full crowd is exciting, and the atmosphere is fun, and our fans definitely bring the energy.
Yeah, it's definitely fun being on this field. I've dreamed of being here since I was probably 5 years old, so it's really cool to take in the moment when you're standing on the field and looking out to the crowd. And our fans have been so great to us so far. But, yeah, I just feel like having all those fans there, 100% capacity, is super cool for us. So we appreciate all the fans that come out and support softball.
Eric Lopez?
For Danny, you were part of that 2018 run from that loser's bracket, coming from behind, and there's a lot of your former teammates in the stands that were a part of that. Just talk about that experience and how that's helping you into this run here as you make a run again, once again, out of the loser's bracket.
Yeah, I think, we've been here before. We know what it takes to come out of the loser's bracket and win the whole thing. So sharing that experience with the young ones and being the leaders to get us there is something that us upperclassmen that have been here before are trying to do.
Graham Hayes?
As for Kaylee, when you took third on the errant throw in the bottom of the seventh, was that just you visually reading the throw going into the outfield, or did you hear anybody yelling, go, 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 or anything like that?
I pop-up slid into second, and I didn't expect her to throw it to second, but I slid anyways, and then as soon as I saw the ball go off her glove, I just went for it. So it was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment read.
Any more questions for our student athletes? Ronald Smith?
My question is for both athletes. Now that you're moving on to the next game, after this kind of game, how do you keep yourselves now centered after this? Because this also could be so draining after a battle like that.
Start with Kaylee, please.
Yeah, I think right now we're just focusing one pitch at a time. We're not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves. So we always say the most important game is the next one. So we're just going to focus on working to play OSU and play one pitch at a time. And whatever happens, we know that we're going to give our all. So,
Danny?
This break's important. We have a few hours off, and just making sure we get back to the hotel, rest, and get locked in for the next game.
All right. Question from Brian? Go ahead, Brian. Apparently, Brian is a silent type. All right, congratulations, Kaylee. Congratulations, Danny. Well done. And we appreciate your time very much, and we'll see you later tonight.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Joined by head coach Lonnie Alameda. Coach, I got to be honest with you. I was sitting there in the 6th inning, and I'm thinking I'm going to ask Coach about, it just seemed like you were one clutch hit away from getting back in and winning some games. That changed in a hurry.
Yeah.
What is about this team that you guys just kept fighting and grinding?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we talk about fight. That's kind of been our whole season is, situational hitting and passing the bat and usually trying to really live our core value of being smart and being able to make adjustments later in the ball game. And some of our players talked this morning before we left for the yard and talked about, staying in it, staying in the fight because we can make adjustments and do things later in the ball game. And Danny did that for us today. It was pretty awesome.
Barry Trammell?
Yeah, Lonnie, you go back at OU, you go back to Reeves Park at home field. You've seen this stadium and this atmosphere change year to year. What do you think of it this year? You've played 2 games with the new upper deck and bigger crowds. How's the atmosphere different now than even, say, when you won the title 3 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that are different. I tell you, at Reeves Park, we got kicked off by the club team, so we didn't ever finish practice, So, like, how much softball's changed in the state of Oklahoma, it's just pretty awesome. But, yeah, I think, for a lot of collegiate softball players, to have that stadium feel all the way around, there's not many stadiums that have people behind you, in front of you, sides, and upper deck. So it is pretty awesome to be able to see that and be able to take it all in. And I also think it says a lot for our sport and how much it's growing and how many people are supporting just the game of softball. There's people here just to watch softball. And before it was, fans of teams. And now it's a place, a destination this time of year where people go to watch the game of softball. And that's really special for our sport.
Eric Lopez?
Coach, Danny Morgan comes through again, that championship pedigree with a lot of their former teammates in the stands coming out of the losers bracket. You're the only team since 2018 that's come from behind in Women's College World Series. Speak to what she and the senior leadership that's been here before leading you the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Danny's always been a scrappy style of player. I mean, she's just gritty and, she's always in it. She always raises to the fight and gets after it. So it's just fun when you have players like that have been in games and won games. They know what it takes, so that they're going to give their all at any time. And I think for me, just super happy and proud of her. I think every senior in this program wants to leave this place better than they found it. It's something they talk about, and that's why we have all those former players sitting up in the stands right now because they feel a part of this team. They gave blood, sweat, and tears to put Florida State on the map, to have Florida State here. And so they're supporting the players that they influence while they're here, and our seniors are trying to do the same for our freshmen. So just a really gritty effort on her part. I thought Kat Sandercock did great today too, and just having some very mature pitches for a sophomore. But when they're led by seniors that have so much passion, it's pretty easy for the younger ones to follow that.
Ronald Smith?
This is Ronald E. Smith. Coach, I want to follow up what you talked about Catherine and how gritty her performance was. Even when the run came in the 7th, she didn't break. And that's something that was key so that your team could come at bat and get their chance. How proud of you of her for that performance she did today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think as a coach, this time of year, you're not coaching. It's everything you've poured into them, and then you start to see it come out. And so ACC series, we put Kat in to close the game, and it didn't happen. And we got to have a real good talk about leadership. So not only your ability to pitch, but your leadership and going through your routine to be present for the moment. So we have a couple errors behind her, and she stayed present. Her head didn't go down. Like the couple plays to Josie, she turned around, she eyed her up, she talked to her. Like the maturity, I'm just so proud of her because we've had some long talks earlier in the season for it to show up in these moments. And I think as a coach, when you see that in this time of the season, it makes you really proud. But she's very proud of herself. She has earned that, and that goes into confidence in who you are. And I'm just excited for her, career to continue. Hopefully here as much as possibly can.
Joey Helmer?
Yeah, Coach, obviously you kind of addressed it, the maturity and the veteran presence that you guys have. How much did you address after this first loss, the fact that you can possibly replicate the path that you made 3 years ago to come back and win the whole thing?
I don't think we really talked about winning a national championship. I think we talk about winning pitches. I think when we got home the other night, there's so many kids pressing right now. Because they want to do so well. So can you get out of your own head and just relax and be pitch by pitch? And it's so easy to say the mantras and so easy to speak it, but can we actually do it? And then can you do it, eyeing each other up, and you can see that closeness, starting to work together. So you see Danny looking at Mason and Cass looking at, Mudge and Mudge, I've got you, I'm going to get to third. And that synergy starts to happen. I think that's really special. So it's pitch by pitch. And if you can keep putting a lot of those pitches together and you stay in the fight and you keep throwing some W's, then maybe they're on Monday. But right now it's about Oklahoma State and first pitch to last pitch.
Paul?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion. There's been a lot of speculation, and we'll find out now or soon or within the next few days if Mike Candrea is going to retire. And in your opinion, what does he mean to the sport of college softball, and what impact has he had on your coaching career in any way?
Yeah, I think he's impacted every college coach, whether they know him or they don't. He's taken this game to a whole nother level, not only collegiately, but internationally. And, what he's done for Arizona, state of Arizona, the PAC, college softball and international softball is, brought such an awareness to play a high-level game. I know when I was at Stanford many years, he was the one that we were trying to beat all the time, and it was beat on the field, beating recruiting, beating everything. And he's just such a class act. He's always there as a phone call. I was an assistant at Stanford. I could talk to him at any point. Now a coach across the country, I could call him at any time and talk about anything. And he's willing to share anything and everything. And so I think he's exactly who we all want to be. I think he's who we want to be in the game and then off the field too. So class act. Loved the opportunity to play them this year. They came to our place. We were able to play them there, and it's just fun to compete against them. Their kids don't quit. They play the game hard, and he's truly impacted the game at so many different levels.
All right, last one for Coach Andrea Adelson.
Lonnie, do you hope that because you were able to get things going offensively in the last 2 innings, that'll carry on some momentum now headed into the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you are who you are. When you get here, you're not going to find anything different. What I hope is we can continue to scratch and claw and play some defense and do the things that we've been doing. And when we get our chances, we take advantage of them. I don't want to come back to the park and try to be something different, And if the first inning ends up being a 5-spot, it's a 5-spot. But, you don't ask your team to be anything different than we've been all season. And, I'm just excited we get another game to play. And I'm excited that these kids get to go out and do the things that they love to do. And so, just smile, appreciate the moments, and just lay it on the field.
Coach Alameda, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
See you later tonight.
Thank you. All right.